Hey folks, Ken here. Just thought I'd give you a quick update on the filter. I know it's probably a couple of weeks since I did an update, mainly due to COVID, unfortunately. I've been down for the last week or so, thankfully, reasonably mild bar fatigue. I think a lot of people have been experiencing similar, but on the mend and getting over it, so excuse the bit of coughing or throat clearing that you might hear. Just wanted to give a quick update on the nitrites. As I said before, I did get a blanking plug here, so I moved my trickle in from the dirty side of the filter, which would have meant that when my big blue was putting in chlorine, it was flowing in through the media chamber and out. I moved it to here, to the dirty side, or to the clean side, where it will just get pumped straight out back into the pond. The nitrites over the last couple of weeks have come down. I did manage to get the Hannah reagent, so I'm down to about 0.3 now, which is pretty good. It was up to nearly 1.5 if you remember about 4 weeks ago, so there was a couple of big water changes in there, but even without water changes over the last few days, it's coming down steadily. Another thing I notice is that my media is starting to darken, so you can see a few of them there. There's a bit of biofilm appearing on them. Now I know some will argue that's not a sign that your plastic media is matured, but it is a sign, I think, that because I had, although a very low concentration of chlorine going through the filter, it was impacting my media maturing. I'm almost certain of that. I know I did move my UV, you'll remember, from, it was on this output here on the drum, and I moved it just sitting in there, which has been working fine as well. The main worry being, you'll see the lats down there, that there was a bit of UV light getting into the biochamber as well. I don't think that was as significant an issue, but I'm happier with it moved. So that's that. I think I'm definitely seeing an improvement now, and the fact that I didn't do any water changes in the last few days, and I have been feeding, albeit about a third, it's about 30 grams, and the volume of fish I have, I should be feeding close to 100 grams a day, but at least I'm feeding something, and it is coming down, so I'm happy with that. Making more inquiries into getting some ceramic media, as I mentioned before, the shower. Was talking to somebody on Koi Forum, and they were talking about, being careful at the rate which you pull water through a biochamber. So there are 7, it having 2 pumps on the outlets there, that to make sure I use, and I've often wondered what these are for. So this is basically a bypass of the biochamber. It's the clean side of the drum. But what I can do is put a shower, as I mentioned before, in this corner, but take the output from here. So instead of going into this biochamber, it will go into a biochamber, a crystal bio shower I'll have in this corner. So I likely run out a 50mm pipe from there down around the back into a pump, which will pump up into the shower up here. They're quite tall, and then the water runs through the media out the bottom of the shower, and we'll put a T then on this return. This is the return into the main pond, and just let the shower trickle back into the return into the pond. So that's the plan. A bit more I'm not sure as well with the shower whether I need to have it above the water line. So that's my water line there. It's a gravity system, so whether I need to have the shower, and if I do need to have it above the water line, I'll need to do a bit more than that. It could be too tall for the ceiling there, because there is an actual ceiling in this shed. Don't know why, but they put one in. There's none in the garage, but there is in the shed. But anyway, so that's the plans there. On the pond itself, we'll just go outside. So there's Odie. I mean, as I've said before, the fish are fine, they're eating, they're very active, even when the nitrites are quite high, and I know 1.5 is not the worst, but it's not great either. They were very active and happy and not gasping or anything like that, so, and they continue to be. I'm sure they could do with more food, but I just want to keep the thing manageable. Just talking about the back part of the pond, you can see my lilies are coming on. The near one has definitely breached. I don't know if you can see with the reflection. I am still getting blanket weed. You can see on those baskets again. Don't know what if they're doing anything or not. I leave them there until I get some other solution. But down around the bottom of this part of the pond, which is only about 90 centimeters or 2.5 feet deep, I'm getting a lot of blanket weed. You can see it around that lily, and I don't know if you can see it around the walls, but what I started doing with the tarp here is just covering this sort of mid-evening until mid-morning, so to minimize or at least reduce the sunlight on it, and I think that's definitely helping. There's no doubt. But just interested, is it purely sunlight? Because it's the same water, you know, same pond water. It pumps up here and it falls over the waterfall and back down. So why I get blanket weed up here and I don't get it down in the main pond is a bit of a mystery to me. What I did do a couple of times is, I said before, when I do my bottom drain flush and I vac out the main pond, it obviously drops the level in the main pond. I then drop a pump I have into this, and I pump out of here into the main pond to fill it up again and get the filter running, and then I can turn this bit off and just refill it. And what I've been doing when it's refilling over the 3 or 4 hours is treating it with blanket weed for, you know, 1,500, 2,000 litres, and it has again helped keep it under control, but it's definitely not solving the problem. You can see the top of that media there, it's just slowly growing back. And also with my lilies, you'll see I'm getting a lot of the lower leaves have been eaten, and I was looking up on that. It's not an easy thing to solve. It's just basically insects and stuff like that, and beetles or whatever else in the ponds that eat them. The previous pond I had, the guy who sold me Lily said I had a small top part of a pond, a much smaller pond. It was only about 2,000 litres. He said to stick a couple of fish in the top, and I did, and it solved the problem. So I don't know whether I might just stick a goldfish up here and let them chomp away on whatever's eating my leaves. But it'd be nice to see a flower out of that. You can see the sort of newer leaves are fine. It's just when they get on a bit, they're getting eaten. Anyway, third world problems. Or first world problems, should I say. So that's it. Other, you know, pond is fine. Happy the nitrite is under control. Did a fair few tests on the big blue as well. I noticed that, you know, although when I did the media a few weeks ago, I did the carbon, it was 0. So my Hannah low range tester was 0, which is perfect. That's what I wanted to see. But then a couple of weeks later, when I tested it, it had gone up, I think, to 0.12 parts per billion, which is damn all. But somebody said to me online, no, they do that. They don't stay at 0 for a long time. They will start to climb up again, and it's just a matter of monitoring it until it gets to a point where you say, right, I'm going to have to change the media. But as I said, the fact that it might trickle in there, going out to the pond and not through the filter, should reduce the impact that has. So listen, I'll leave it at that, and I'll go and continue to recover from COVID. I'm going to do a bottom drain flush and a bit of a vac tomorrow, because the pond should have been done last week, so I'm a week overdue. And hopefully in a few days' time I'll be able to give you a further update and improvement on the nitrite. Take it easy. Cheers.